Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the Law Firm Accelerator program. We're going to show you how we get law firms 30 to 50 high quality client calls every month with predictability down to the dollar and day. So who is this for? This is for lawyers and law firms that are tired of struggling to make ends meet. It's for lawyers who are over wasting money on trying different marketing tactics that never bring any consistency. It's for attorneys that don't have the time to learn how to do it all themselves and really just need someone to take the marketing process off their plate so that they can focus on being the best lawyer that they can be, so that they can focus on really helping their clients. It's for attorneys that understand that it is going to take a financial investment to actually grow your practice, and for lawyers that work hard for success and provide every client they serve with the highest level of integrity that they can actually provide. It's for people who really want to build a business that can support both themselves and their employees. That's very important to a lot of the current law firms that we deal with. They want to be able to support both themselves and their employees. So in the next 45 minutes, we're going to show you how to use the power of Google Ads and intent-based marketing to generate a consistent flow of high-quality clients on demand with predictability month after month down to the dollar and day. We'll also show you how to close 75% of your calls and emails and accept your retainer fees on the first phone call. Even if it sounds crazy, we'll show you how all of our clients handle this process and how they generate millions of dollars by eliminating a lot of the back and forth that happens with price shopping and tire kickers. We'll also show you how to save time and money by focusing your efforts in order to scale your legal practice beyond your wildest imagination, And yes, at the end of this case study, we'll also give you an opportunity to implement our done-for-you program without adding additional complexity or additional time to your day. So basically, we're going to give you everything you need to know to scale your law firm and add an additional 5 and 6 figures per month using our proven and predictable, repeatable system. On all of this instead of guesswork and failure, constant course correction, which is inevitably going to cost you more time and more money. So a few rules for today's webinar. This is not get rich quick. This is not do nothing but click a button and you get paid. It's not let's fake being an expert and get clients. It's not, any of this. I'm an ambulance tracer and just need to bring in as many clients as possible so that I can turn around and solicit them to other attorneys for finder's fees. You truly must be an expert at what you do, and you have to provide value to your customers. If you're able to do those things, then we're able to bring in as many clients as you can possibly handle. Keep in mind, neither my results or the results of my clients are typical. The people we will show you are all hardworking entrepreneurs who put in the effort and did the work on their end. The results that you get are entirely up to you. We'll be able to provide you with that consistency that you need to grow your firm. You're going to be able to have to handle the calls and emails that are coming in so that you can eventually grow your bottom line. So tell me if this sounds familiar. Do you start out every week wondering where you're going to get the next client and how you're going to pay the light bill at the end of the month? Do you ever have months where money pours in and months where you just can't seem to maintain it? Maybe you're a victim of that feast and famine syndrome. Do you secretly know that your time is worth more than what you're charging, but you're afraid of lifting your hourly rate because there are 5 other firms you compete with on a daily basis, and you feel like your potential clients are price shopping all of you all the time? It's probably happening. Are you constantly working hard in your business and not on your business? You're spending too many hours on too many different activities that really don't produce income, and you end up burning yourself out in this process. Do you see some of your old colleagues, maybe old classmates in your industry, making big money, growing their firms exponentially, and wonder what exactly they're doing that you're not? Do you ever feel like, hey, maybe it could be Google or online marketing, digital marketing as the pivotal lever that if you had that figured out, your business would just succeed, but you can't just figure it out. I mean, it hasn't been easy as of thus far. Have you ever felt like because you offer a whole bunch of different services that every client you get brings in additional overhead, complexity, and additional headaches, making it harder for you to figure out exactly how to scale and maintain a simple firm with high profit margins. It just doesn't work that way. And we'll talk about it in this program, in this process, but if you offer multiple different types of services, it's nearly impossible as a small firm, one or two people, to scale. It really is. Have you been told that you need to run every type of marketing to be successful? You have to have SEO, you have to do blogging, you need to run a TV ad, you got to have radio ads, you got to put yourself on billboards and park benches, you need to join referral centers and networking groups, paying upwards to $650 to $1,000 for each of these leads. You got to be on social media, and hopefully you can figure out this $5 a day ad process. That doesn't work. This is not how it works. So it's really just understanding where intent is and focusing on intent, and then scaling your practice in that way. And we'll talk about that. You don't have to do all of these things. You don't have to have an expensive website. You don't have to do SEO. You don't have to have TV or radio ads. You don't have to see yourself on billboards or even on park benches if you live in a metropolitan city. But you do have to focus on your customer's intent, and we're going to show you how to do that right now. The real problem is that you're stuck in yesterday's marketing model. You haven't moved or figured out how to focus your efforts on leverage the profitable and predictable model of intent-based marketing. And just like I said, focusing on all those other things is great if you're a huge firm and you have an omni-channel marketing campaign running. But if you're a small to medium-sized business, if you are new, if you are looking to scale effectively and efficiently without spending a ton of money on all these different tests, focusing your efforts on intent-based marketing is the way to go. When you start with intent-based marketing and Google Ads, the right customers come looking for you and not the other way around. You have complete control over who you work with and how you work with them. You'll have control over the prices you can command. You'll be able to generate clients on demand with predictability month after month, with an exact idea of how much it's going to cost to get a new client and in how much time it's going to take. That's going to make your life so much more simple and so much more profitable, because you'll have less moving parts and less overhead. Once you've committed to this process, the invisible ceiling of your income and success is going to go away. You're going to have more money coming in because you'll have less stuff that you'll have to do. When you implement this process, you'll have a proven and repeatable business model that can bring in 30 to 60 new quality prospects every month, so that you can actually generate that 30K to 100K revenue every single month. And it's realistic. I mean, we have clients that do this all the time, day in and day out, generating tons of leads, closing tons of deals, and increasing their bottom line. And you're going to be able to do all of this while reliving the joy that you had when you first got into business and you first started working with your first few clients, before everything got complicated, before you started adding all these other services on, before you started adding all these other complex types of marketing and all these other things that you just had to do because you saw somebody doing it on social media, or somebody told you, hey, this might be a good idea for your firm. It's not. Commit to the process, and you'll figure out why we're saying that. My name is Michael Sott. I'm the CEO and founder of Digital 1010 and the law firm Accelerator. Thanks for joining us this far. I'm a two-time Addy award-winning agency owner. Digital 1010 has been highly awarded. It's been a great ride over the last few years. Last year, we were awarded UpCity's top advertising and content marketing agency. This is my 5th year as a Google certified partner. I've helped my clients generate tens of millions of dollars in revenue annually through high quality lead generation using intent-based marketing and Google Ads. In 2018 alone, we helped 5 law firms hit their first 7-figure years. And that's really, really great for us, and very important to be able to share with you today. And again, I'm not just one of those gurus that show you or tell you, all of these great things, and I'm not able to back anything up or show you. So this is our first client. I'm sure if you follow me, he's one of our long-term success stories. He was a new family law firm coming over. His name's Ian, 904 Family Law. He left his stable job at a private family law practice and really in hopes of being able to create something a little bit more sustainable. And now he generates 30 to 50 high quality prospects every month. His retainer fees average around $35K per month, and he has a predictable and expected income with no stress. We handle everything for Ian, helping him to create this sustainable business month after month. This is Ashkan Manai. Ashkan is a workers' comp lawyer. He was stuck paying $650 per referral and up. These referrals were being sold to multiple practices. In our first 30 days of working together, we were able to put up his landing pages and generate 32 high-quality prospects. In that time, he was able to close 5 clients. Obviously, some are still cases that are open, and he still has the ability to go through and close them. But just in that short amount of time, he was able to generate $17,500 in revenue. Ash will easily generate over 6 figures in 2019. Toli Seamos, the Savannah Injury Law Office. He's a one-man private personal injury lawyer. He was barely making ends meet, and he was really working himself to the bone while trying to do it. Now he generates 40 plus calls and emails per month. He generates $30,000 or more in retainer fees per month, and he will easily clear high 6 figures this year. And that's just the start of it. In the last 5 years, we've helped multiple firms, like I said, get to 7 figures. Last year, we had 5 7-figure firms, and hundreds of others have added an additional 5 and 6 figures to their income because of our program. So what is this process? What is this program? This is the Law Firm Accelerator. And there really are 6 transformations that need to happen in both your mind and business if you want to create that 6, 7, or 8 figure practice. So step 1 is you have to be an expert, not a jack of all trades. And what that means is you really need to focus your efforts on one type of law when you're looking to scale your practice. Think about it like this. Tom Brady doesn't play baseball one week, maybe basketball the next, and then football the next, right? He is the best at football. Football is Brady's mountains. He defends it and he owns it. He is the best at what he does on that field. When you look at that as a lawyer, you really have to think to yourself, do I focus on all of these things, spreading myself thin, trying to figure out what is going to be best for me? Or do I find the one thing that I have done very well that has produced the most revenue and focus my efforts on that type of case law? And then that way I can scale with predictability, understanding the types of things that need to happen every day for me to be successful. So stop focusing on every type of law or every type of case and every type of client that walks into your door, assuming that you're going to have success with all of them, because you're not. If you're a small firm with limited resources, focusing both your effort and your expertise is going to allow you to save time and money. It's going to allow you to scale your practice without having to worry about how you're going to fulfill some of these tasks. Once your firm starts to grow, it'll be easier for you to hire those A-team players to handle the overflow caseloads that you have coming in, rather than trying to fill the gaps for another attorney who handles a different type of case law. Just doesn't make sense, right? So now that you've focused your efforts on one type of case law, within that field, you're going to want to focus your efforts on 1 or 2 core services, and then market to your ideal client based on that intent. And what does that mean, right? When Apple started failing, they had 30 days left, and they had 30 days left of cash. What did Steve Jobs do? He came back and rescued the business, and the first thing he did was cut 80% of their product line, returning Apple to its core business, technology, building computers, focusing on that end of the business. That's the same thing you have to do. If you have multiple different things going on, if you're offering multiple types of legal services, but only do 1 or 2 things that actually bring in money, then you need to cut everything not related to those 1 or 2 core services. Honing in these services is going to be the best for your business, because it's going to eliminate all the other stressful things that you have going on, because when those things are gone, you're no longer going to have to feel the need to fill additional gaps. You'll know exactly what you need to do within those two core services to be able to build a successful business and not feel like I'm leaving something on the table. Great firms really focus their efforts on one legal type and then one or two core services within that niche. And then as they see success, they scale their campaigns. They don't get stuck on different work for different clients, thinking that every time they bring in a new client, there's going to be some consistency. Because I'm sure, as you've noticed, there will not be. But when you stick to a niche and you get the people the results that they're looking for, you can scale at will with ease. When we start to think about intent, and focusing on the one or two core services within that niche, we really want you to understand that there is intent through action, right? So when we work on SEO campaigns, when you put up a social media post, yes, there is some relevance to those things within an omni-channel or multi-channel marketing platform. But when you are trying to drive customer acquisition, focusing on intent is going to eliminate a lot of those tire kickers. When people are searching for stuff, the first, especially in the legal field, the first thing that they do is search Google. So it's a myth to think that people who come through Google are tire kickers. The reality is that you don't know how to follow up fast enough, or you haven't allowed them to say much during the conversation. You were quick to assess their situation. Maybe you sent them to a really confusing or overwhelming website, meaning you really had no clear call to actions on the page, and there were probably a million different services that you provided, or you had reviews from different types of case law, making it hard for them to really see the value in what you can provide to them. When someone is in need of legal services, there is a 98% chance that they are going to search Google for that provider. They don't search social platforms. They don't watch TV or listen to the radio. They don't drive around looking for billboards or go to legal networking events. And they very rarely ask for a referral, because a lot of times legal services are in relation to touchy subjects. So they don't want to, impose that subject onto someone that they love, who may then look at them differently. When they contact you through your intent-based marketing campaign, you are going to be able to identify exactly where they came from and how much it cost you to acquire that new customer. You're not able to do that with other types of marketing. So step 3, let's just reiterate what we've learned so far. Step 1, we're focusing on one practice type, one niche. Step 2, within that niche, we're going to focus on one or two core services that bring in the most revenue, the highest amount of money. And now step 3, we're going to do our research and understand our market. Now, what does that mean? We're going to start with researching different types of keywords, right? We need to set some realistic expectations. So utilizing tools like Google's Keyword Planner and Ubersuggest is going to give you a better understanding of what clicks might cost in your specific market. So if you live in a bigger market like an NYC and LA, any Miami, Atlanta, you're going to have higher cost per clicks and cost per acquisition costs just based on the competition in your area. That's not saying that you're not going to do well, because you will do very well, especially if you set up your campaign in what we're teaching you right now. But you can just understand that the cost per click and acquisition costs are going to be a bit higher. So once you start to do your research in regards to what it's going to cost you to get these clicks, you also need to start to do some research regarding your competition. You need to work to understand who your competition is. You can utilize scraping tools like SpyFu to get estimated competitive ad sets or an ad spend information. But again, keep in mind, these are all estimates. They'll just give you a good indication of what's being spent, the types of ads they're putting out there, the types of keywords they're focusing on. As you better understand your competition, you'll need to move on to your market, understanding the type of income levels that your potential consumers would have based on where they live and other demographic characteristics. You'll be able to clearly identify who you want to focus your marketing efforts on, eliminating a lot of the outliers that don't make sense for your business and keep you from growing the business. You'll also at that point need to understand what your legal limitations are. Make sure that you understand what you can do within your state and or in some cases your city will allow. So every state's going to have varying rules based on the type of firm that you have. You just want to make sure that you understand those rules. For example, Google will not let family lawyers do remarketing. You can remarket through social media, but you cannot directly remarket through Google. And the reason for that is, family law is a touchy subject. If a household has only one computer and the husband or wife searches for family lawyer, then leaves, and the alternate spouse picks up the computer and starts to get on Google and search some stuff and sees those ads, it could create issues, and Google doesn't want to be a part of that. So they just don't allow family law to remarket through their platform. So step 4, stop sending traffic to your website. It's wasting your money. So why do we say it's wasting your money, and what do you do? So the first thing that you need to understand that using landing pages over your website is going to give you the ability to tailor your message and your calls to action to your ideal audience. It's also going to eliminate a lot of the traffic leaks that you have, because you're going to eliminate the amount of actions that the prospect can take to 3 things. They're going to be able to call you immediately for help. They're going to be able to email you for a case review, and then they'll be able to leave the page if they do not want to take any action. Now, if they go to search for you in a later date, we'll have tracking capabilities which will allow us to tag these people and then market to them later through social media if it's allowed, or Google if it's allowed. Again, you have to understand your legal limitations, and then you'll be able to make those decisions, but you will be able to in some way remarket to these people. You'll also understand that driving traffic to a hyper-focused landing page is going to reduce the amount of calls and emails from tire kickers, because they're going to understand very clearly and quickly that you may or may not be a good fit for your business, right? So if they come to your landing page for a specific reason regarding personal injury law, and they see that the information is relevant to their case, they are more likely to contact you than if they come to a website where the primary image may or may not have personal injury, but it also has family law, it also has workers' compensation, it also has First Amendment rights, and all these other things that really deter the prospect from reaching out to you, because they're not sure if you're going to be able to handle their case as if, somebody who is really hyper-specific about what's going on. It's also going to let your potential clients know that, hey, this guy has been able to help other people. This is a right fit for me. I should reach out to them. It's going to allow you to stop selling all these other unnecessary services, and it's going to give your prospects enough information that they feel compelled to call you. That will give you the freedom to scale your business. And the reason I say that is because we've seen this time and time again with other lawyers and legal practices. When they start to focus their efforts and they eliminate all of the other noise, let's call it, for lack of a better term, it's easier for them to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because they now have consistency and predictability in the types of cases that they're handling. They now understand the volume of clients that they'll be getting based on the number of calls that they're receiving. They now understand what their traffic is doing and how they can, increase their conversion rates based on actual statistics, and not just, hey, let's throw something at the wall and hope that it works. So, step 5, tracking. Tracking your results is literally the lifeline of your business. It gives you the opportunity to create that omnipresence through your digital platforms. It is the key indicator as to whether or not your campaigns are successful. And without proper tracking, you will completely waste your money and your time. You need to track all points of engagement, from clicks to conversions, time on page to bounce rates. You should look to utilize some type of heat mapping program to see where potential hurdles could be when users get to your landing page. You should look at tracking all of your emails and record all of your calls so that if you hire some kind of intake or processing service, that you can go back and spot check their work to ensure that every prospect is being scheduled according to your script and your process, not just at will as they see it fit for them. If you don't already have a CRM or intake system to monitor the leads and journeys from call to billable client, now is the time to also get that set up. And there are tons of great programs out there. We partner with Captora. So if you would like an introduction to that program, we can get you set up with a demo really quick. And this is just a good indication as to what you get when you can analyze your results, right? This is our 2017 versus 2018 stats sheet for our client Ian from 904 Family Law. And you'll notice that from 2017 to 2018, we had a 25% increase in total conversions. We had a 32% increase in his conversion rate. He added an additional $70,000 in revenue through the year, and we increased his cost per acquisition by 19.3%. This just is an affirmation that if you have the proper data points, if you have the correct tracking set up, you can make real changes to your campaigns that have amazing results. One thing that I want you to notice that I didn't actually note at the bottom, his actual ad spend between 2017 and 2018 only went up $260. And we were able to do all of these things with an increase on $260. And that's because we were able to identify what was successful, kill the things that weren't, and really start to scale this campaign. And now we talk about how and when to scale the campaign, right? Most lawyers and law firms rely on what we like to call the random acts of marketing or hope marketing. They hope and pray for the best. They throw things out in the market and based on what they've seen through different platforms. And they say, oh, well, maybe it's going to work because it worked for John Smith. They get drips and drabs of business from one referral or one networking event, or somebody just randomly emails them because they saw a blog on a service that they provided. They randomly saw social media a post and they thought, hey, maybe I'm going to call this guy. That's not how scaling works. When you look at scaling, you have to understand that data is everything, and understanding the process of scaling without botching your complete campaign is probably one of the most important things that you'll do. So if you don't know how to do this, you need a brutal wake-up call, because if you don't know your numbers, you don't know how to scale your practice, if you don't know how not to botch your current campaigns, you'll never be able to add the additional revenue that you're dying to get. You'll never be able to get to that 7-figure practice or that 6-figure month. It just won't happen. So what's the difference between a 7 and 8-figure law firm, their intake process and how they handle calls, along with their ability to track and create an omnipresence online? And I didn't put the omnipresence online in this. That's for further training, but really it's those two things. They know how to take calls, they know how to handle calls, and they know how to create an omnipresence for those that do not become a client on the first call. So how do you perfect your intake process? Well, on your call, it's your responsibility to listen in and not offer your opinion. Just allow the prospect to tell you about their situation. And when it's weirdly quiet and they ask if you're there, just say, yes, I'm here, I'm taking notes, and ask them to continue. After they've explained their situation thoroughly, it's your responsibility to reiterate their current situation and how your services are able to provide their path to the desired outcome that they're really looking for. No more, no less. It's not your responsibility to give them an assessment on what you think can happen or how much they can get for their injury claim or any of those things. It's to reiterate what they're currently going through and then state how your services will provide that path to their desired outcome. Believe me when I say that there is an easier way. And it's using a process from somebody who has a proven system and is actually doing it. And we have that process. We're actually doing it. We're doing it day in and day out for our clients. We're able to prove it time and time again. So now you basically have two options. Option one, you can continue to go at it alone, spend tens of thousands of dollars, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure out this stuff on your own. You can get frustrated. You can waste 3 to 10 years of your life. You can hire cheaper solutions. You can go through and try and figure it out on your own. Like I said, it's going to cost you time and money. Or you can let our team of Google experts implement the Law Firm Accelerator system, knowing that this proven process is from someone who has not just done it once, but is actually mastered it. And we are the best at intent-based marketing for law firms. We can guarantee that you will get at a minimum, 30 new client calls every single month on a shoestring budget. And it happens for all of our clients. So now if you're smart, you're going to go with option two and decide to work with me. And here's what you can expect in terms of what you'll get from the results and the timeline. So within the first week, we'll have your competitive and keyword research done. Within the second week, we'll have your landing pages set up live and ready to go. Within the third week, you'll have all of the ads created and then launched so that you start getting those calls and emails coming through and your calendar starts to fill up and you have the opportunity to close those new clients. After the first 30 days, you'll have a consistent flow of new business and proven repeatable process in place, bringing in new clients over and over and over again. We'll also go through a checkup after your first 30 days to ensure that everything is running smoothly. And then we'll have constant checkups throughout the next 60 and 90 days to ensure that things are continuing to progress. Our campaign optimizations are ongoing and happen consistently throughout the life of the campaign. And if you ever have questions or concerns, you're always able to reach out to myself or your account manager, and that will get answered within, just a few hours. And that's just in the first month. So if this sounds like something that you'd like to do, that you want to put your law firm's lead generation process on autopilot so that you can rest knowing that every month there will be 30 to 60 new high quality prospects calling and emailing asking for your help so that you can generate that 6-figure a month revenue that you've been dying to get, then let's talk. I think now is the time, and I hope that you can see the value in it as well. We'll take roughly 45 minutes on the call. I'll map out exactly what you need to do and how you need to follow the plan so that you can hit your sales goals this year. And this call is going to really be probably one of the most important 45 minutes that you'll ever spend talking about your business. So just to reiterate who this is for any law firm, regardless of the practice type or size of your business. If you're ready to generate some additional leads and sales, this is for you. We help all types of firms from criminal defense to insurance attorneys and everything in between. If you're a lawyer looking to start your own firm and not really sure how to get things moving or keep it sustainable, we can help you. It's for attorneys who know that they are good at what they do and they believe that they can dominate their marketplace and make a high 6-figure or even 7-figure income. We can help you get there. It's for attorneys who truly love helping others and value the results they provide over everything else. And we feel the exact same way. That's why we want to help you. It's for law firms that understand that they need to have some skin in the game, and they understand that success doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen over time. If you're able to qualify your data, then you will find success, and we can help you get there. So if you're ready to jump on this, just click the link below or go to lawfirmaccelerator.com/apply and fill out the quick survey, schedule your appointment, and we look forward to meeting with you. I'm Michael Saad. Thank you again for taking this time to join me today. I hope you saw some great value. If you have any questions, please feel free to email or contact me directly at msaad@digital1010.com. Thanks again.